Hello, Pisces. This is a once in a lifetime, first in a lifetime month because you are going to have a pileup of planets in the sign of Pisces that hasn't been seen for thousands of years. Add to that you're also going through a time in which Saturn has been testing you and creating greater resilience and strength so you can achieve what is going to show up in the beginning of this month, like throughout the month of March into April, which is a newfound sense of self-worth, self-value, and financial wellness. You are on the way to something better, both in your finances, your sense of self-worth and self-value. This is a big energy for you. And did we talk about the eclipse? Now, on top of that, we have eclipses moving through the Virgo Pisces axis of your sky starting in September of 2024. But then also the Virgo eclipse right across from your sign in the month of March. It's a humdinger. I don't know how I'm going to tell you in like 25 minutes or so about what's going on this month. That's why you might want to subscribe to my channel and, catch the wave, because I'll be doing deep dives into the eclipses, deep dives into the Venus retrograde through your money house. That's one of the reasons why your finances are about to make a big change. And let's break it down for you now. Because Venus is retrograding in the month of March, through your starting March 1st through your money house and spending a lot of time in the sign of Aries, which is your second house of earnings and resources. This is going to take you back to 2017-18, like January through to the end of 2017, early 2018, in terms of things to do with your sense of self, self-value, your body, your health, what you want in life, and things to do with your earnings, money, and resources. But what's completely different this time around is the eclipse cycle is actually jacking up everything on steroids. And then you add the North Node in your sign, and then you add the rare pile up the parade of planets, the stellium that's occurring at the end of March. There's nothing you can compare it to. It really is first in a lifetime, once in a lifetime. So come join me on that Venus retrograde class. Check the description box below. Honestly, March 1st, if you miss the deadline I'm sorry, I'm not letting people start late, I don't think anyway, but it's March 1st to April 12th. If you catch the wave of this video before March 1st, come join me. It's going to be a really great class. It's live with me 6 weeks, a Facebook group, bi-weekly Q&As, a collaging party, and we're going to go through this Venus retrograde. It involves your money story, your health, your body, and your sense of self, and things are going to be very improving for you this time around because the node of fate's changing you in destined ways. So let's break it down by looking at the sky. Did I introduce myself? Well, you're on my channel. It is Lunatic Astrology, and I am Lori Lothian. This is Western Tropical Zodiac Astrology. When you're listening today for your Pisces sun, you're listening for the deep core essential nature of you. When you're listening, and it can also involve career and purpose matters. When you're listening for your rising sign, this is your game playing avatar. This is the character you play in the movie script of life. So it is your character, but it also means it's most accurate for your circumstances in life. And if you're listening for your moon or moon sign today, it can also be things to do with your home, your emotions, your nest, sometimes how your mind, body, emotional complex, angst or not angst, can go in your life. Listen for sure for your rising and your Pisces sun. Try the moon on for size. Let's get started. I don't want to be here more than 25 minutes for each sign. I got a lot of content to get through on my recordings for these videos. Number one, Saturn entered into your sign back in 2023. Remember that March of 23 to February of 2026, you're under Saturn's discipline, structure, and form. You might feel heavy, melancholic, responsible, dutiful, realistic, or you might be getting shit done. Whatever it is, some of you had health challenges under Saturn's testing 1-2 of your body in the ascendant place. Or if your moon is in Pisces, it's called a sati sate, and you're in the apex point of a 7-year cycle that is going to be about testing you, but also bringing you into greatness. So all said and done, the Saturn energy is the backdrop from which everything is occurring in the Pisces sky. We're going to go chronologically. We're going to talk about the eclipse in Virgo in the middle of March. We're going to talk about the end of the month eclipse in Aries. Let's get rolling. Number one, March the 1st to the 2nd, 3rd, the most important thing to know is that Jupiter's opportunity and sun is the light, and the light in your body, your mind, your career, if it's your sun, your sense of purpose, or the light in your home, if it's your Pisces moon. Anyway, the light is shining here there is the sun, the light is shining here, and is also in a square to Jupiter. This is a 12 degree. It's pretty exact on the 2nd. You'll feel it building just before March begins and kind of waning by the 5th. Well, ultimately, something about this first week of Mars is opportunity connected to prosperity, abundance, expansion, and 4th house matters. Sometimes it could be pregnancy, fertility, a grandchild's being born, more children are coming to the home. Maybe a child's moving in with you. Maybe the first week of March is some lucky break in and from your home to do with land, property, and real estate. And the light is shining brightly in the sign of you. So you're feeling really, really good about this vibe for the most part. As we keep going that week, Mercury will sextile Pluto most exactly on the 5th of March. Mercury sextiling Pluto. That's a good energy for really coming into a deeper understanding of something to do with matters financial. Now, Mercury can also literally be just some news, really, like where you're going to come into Mercury early, Aries, and March 4th, 5th, 6th, Pluto in your 12th house. Okay, you have a new idea about how to make money and get financially resourceful through international borderless income and revenue or digital income, or you're able to completely come to a deeper penetrating insight and understanding of some of yourself undoing and addictions and bad habits with things that you put in your nose and your mouth, or you're going to have a deep insight into your financial wound that you've been struggling with. It's karmatic, ancestral, family of origin, and you've been trying to hack this ancestral wound to do with your finances ever since 2019. This is a year for that turnaround. We're coming off of major shift energy on the chironic wound in your earnings house from eclipses in 24. When I look at the 7th and 8th of the month, I see that the sun and Mars come into a harmonious flow of luck, opportunity, and expansion. Now, that sun is shining brightly in your sign and you are not enjoying it. Well, that would be because you don't like to be under the light of the divine soul of the universe. So get used to it. It's shining brightly into your psyche, your body, your health, your sense of self, your career, your home matters. It's shining all over you. And we'll see on the 7th and 8th of the month that then what happens is the sun and Mars hook up. Now, you'll feel it a couple of days before and after the 7th and 8th, but the gist of it is simple. Mars has been trying to make some changes in your relationship to your sexuality, your romance, your creativity, your artistry, your fun, your play, your pleasure, and your children. And he's been trying to work those changes since last September. Then he retrograded. Now he's direct as of February 23rd. Wants to make a significant rare changes in the 5th house matters. It's great for starting an entrepreneurial business as well. And he's flowing to the sun who's agreeing, let's get something going. Let's light this baby up. So where those changes are ready to be made, February 23rd to mid-April, the sun is actually saying, I'm on board. Let's make those changes now. And that could involve your children as well, not just all about you. Some big changes in their life that you are able to shine your light upon on the 7th and the 8th of the month. Just keep in mind that this is also Mars is the ruler of your house with grandchildren. And if you have children who could have children, then you may also be looking at becoming a grandparent. And we'll cover more of that in another video as to why, but you have to trust me, Jupiter in the 4th house can often bring grandchildren into being. On March the 8th to the 14th, now we have that eclipse on the 14th in the house of marriage. We'll get to that, and business partners. But before we do, what happens before that? Well, first of all, that sun shining so darn brightly in the sign of Pisces, lighting up your sky, that sun is going to also connect with Saturn. Saturn and the sun connect 3 times in your sign, three times, once a year, every 30 years. So it's going to be the second time this happened also in, well, actually, this may have happened in 2023, 24, and this is the last one, 2025. And this is the last one. So the last pass of Sun Saturn is to tell you that you're trying to figure out what it is that you realistically want to make happen in your life. What are your visions, goals, and dreams and fantasies, Saturn, with that you can make real and tangible? Because that's what Neptune and Saturn can do together. And this is kind of make the dreams real. And a lot of Pisces, I keep encouraging you to think about the possibility that you might want to try your hand, at perhaps give me some ideas here. The Art of Manifestation, Awakened Imagination by Neville Goddard, things to do with I don't know, the possibility that you could create a manifestation vision board and actually have it work. Find the magic in life. Your manifestation powers and magic are on the increase, is what I'm trying to suggest here. So, with this energy, you're very capable of starting a new business, entrepreneurial, launch a creative project, spark a new romantic connection to your significant other or somebody else, or even find out that you're aiming for good things happening with children. But it's that union of the sun and Saturn is where you shine a light in your most realistic, determined, sage-like wisdom about what it is you want in your own life. So use that energy. It's positive on March the 8th, March the 11th to the 13th, 2025. All right, now we look at also, the sun is in a co-joining to Saturn. There's a sextile to Shock and Awe Uranus on Algol, a star of wealth. Now, it could be an unexpected, surprising, exciting opportunity coming from an aunt, uncle, cousin, sibling one younger. It could be a flashpoint of a viral hit or something going really well in your online social media world. Third house could be a surprising opportunity for travel, short distance travel in particular, or learning opportunities or teaching opportunities emerging for you around that window of the 11th to the 13th of March. Now, when we get to the 14th, we have a total lunar eclipse in a blackout of the moon. Moon turns blood orange in the house of marriage with the south node of letting go. Not want to scare you, and do not want to scare you. But if you are married and you have a long-term love partner or cohabitational partner, the south node is depleting and difficult. And a full moon is revealing of what was unseen. And one of the ways it could show up is a health challenge that was unnoticed before for your significant other. On the other hand, another way it could show up is that there is a big change in the marriage, and that the lunation is going to make you aware of what needs to change in your long-term love relationship, not on the 14th. But rather over the 6 months that follows, and most likely you'll understand what that change needs to be within the first 3 months of this full moon. And it could also be a big change in legal contracts and a big change in business partnerships and a massive shift with new understanding of how you want to reach out to an audience or marketplace. Look, if you're like me, when the South Node went through my 7th house, I saw less and less clients. You don't want to engage a lot with others. That includes your marriage partner. So there could be some desire for separation or change in the marital status under this influence. So it's a 6-month window after the eclipse, but that's what's happening on the 14th. Now, I'm going to draw us into the last part of the month, the second half of the month. And I want to also talk about Venus and Mercury before we get going. Mercury will station retrograde on the 15th, right? Day after that eclipse. So he's stationary just as the eclipse occurs. And he's going to station retrograde. And he's going to be retrograding, right, from 9 degrees of Aries. What does that mean for you? Well, 9 Aries, or just Aries in general, is the house of money and earnings. And so there's something about Mercury having entered into your Aries sky on March the 3rd. He gets to March 15th and he says, oopsie daisy, I changed my mind. So there may be some changes in dietary style, changes with your face, ideas you had about your face, some communications that you want to take back. This is a house of voice, and really rethink something you've communicated, or a financial matter that you have to reassess. Excuse me, everybody. And so Mercury will head backwards in your chart on the 15th and retrograde all the way through to April 7th. And as he heads backwards, he will on March the 30th slide back into the sign of Pisces. And so therefore, there's something about him being in the sign of Pisces that means that you've got the ideas or the thoughts that you're generating about what to do about your money or your face, your visual appearance, or your dietary style. You're considering it, you're rethinking it. And then he will go direct on the 15th, 7th of April. He will go direct on the 7th of April at 7, I don't know what degree, but he will go direct at 7th of April in Pisces. And then you can go ahead after April 7th and begin to execute decisions, actions, and ideas that you know are right and true for you regarding the following themes: your money, your marriage, your home life, and your career. So please try to make major choices and enactments about that stuff till after April the 7th for best results. That includes buying something. Mercury's like buy and sell in the house of possessions. Don't buy that new laptop, new sofa, new anything until you get outside the final end of that retrograde, April 7th. You'll likely have to take it back. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to point out is Venus is in the sign of Aries before the month starts as of February 4th. But March 1st, she turns retrograde in your money house and will be back ending through that money house till March 27th. Venus retrograde, just like Mercury, suggests be careful about any major purchases between March the 1st to 27th in terms of what Venus thinks. Okay. That's her view of that. Ultimately, the retrograde of Venus through your second house happened in 2017. And same time of year. And the energy is about rethinking and revising your finances in some fundamental way, your possessions, your self-worth, your finances. She will go direct, of course, eventually. And that's where things work out on April the 12th, where she goes direct. So in the meantime, she slides back into your Pisces sky on the 27th of March. And from March the 27th till April the 12th, what you end up with is Venus in your sign, and she is retrograde. So what do you do with that? Well, you are going to go back to things about, it could be a new, go back to a health protocol you've done before in the past. Go back and to old wardrobe styles, the reclamation of beauty from your past, that old haircut, that old hair color, that old hairdresser, that old wardrobe. Okay, so you want to return the beauty from the past to you in a way that's like reclamation of the past. So there's an emphasis on that, getting back to who you were, the beauty inside and outside. Now, sometimes when Venus retrogrades through the first house, there may be nostalgia about former long-term love relationships and romances, and you may be considering your romantic past in some fundamental way. Let's go ahead now and talk again about the rest of March. So as we begin the middle of March, we see the Sun and Neptune co-joining together. Now, this is the stellium, this pile-up that's happening in your sign. So we need to talk about the rarity of that. Let's move us back to you. We need to talk about the rarity of this. You'll have to give me a minute because the software, it's not me, it's the software. All right. I'm going to try to get the ascendant all the way back to the beginning of your sign, at least so I can keep spinning the wheel. All right. So not Aries, Pisces. Look, as I would say, Sun is beaming onto the North Node and Neptune. This is a once in a lifetime, happened in the 1850s. Saturn, Sun, North Node, Neptune, all of that pile up there. And by the end of the month, it gets even more intense with 5 planets here. So I want you to think of it this way. The light of the divine intelligence is shining on the way you can be more successful and grow and expand in your life evolutionarily and in worldly ways. North Node Rahu, in connection with dreams, goals, fantasies, and visions, and you can make them real. That's Saturn. So there's a very special window of time where that Sun and Neptune co-join in the sign of you. And I've been telling a lot of Pisces that are friends of mine, get a vision board, get a collage going, make sure you use this energy. It's very valuable. This would be a great time on the day of the conjunction, which will be March the 17th, St. Patrick's Day, for you to do that vision board or do a write down your goals and dreams and let the universe answer. Do some sacred visualization meditations about what you actually want in life. Okay. So on St. Patrick's Day, we have the Sun and North Node. So you could do it on that destiny factor, or you could wait until the 18th, 19th, as the Sun is moving into conjunction with Neptune. 17th, 18th, 19th, get your dreams enacted. Do something around what your true goals and visions are for your life. This is inside of your character. If it's your, inside of your sun, your career, inside of the moon, about things to do with your home, but the rising sun, what do you want in any part of your life? What are you looking to create in this reality? Now, well, the Sun is co-joining Neptune. You might also note that sextile Pluto is happening as well. And that's a sextile from Pluto to Venus. And what can you do with a Venus sextile Pluto? What is it for? Well, it's for riches. It's for wealth. It is wealth energy. Venus is in your second house, and on the 21st and the 22nd or so, she becomes very intimate with Pluto. And this is building before that. So you can go, the 19th to the 23rd. Something is trying to make you richer, and you're diving into a hidden treasure from past lives, transforming and regenerating as you release ancestral patterns around unworthiness for wealth, as you let go of vows of poverty or something you took as a nun in another life or a monk. You're revising your story, and should be a glimmer of success on financial matters. And as Venus is retrograde on this first quarter, she will pass again in direct motion. And we're going to talk about that in my Venus retrograde class. This could also be money from the past, treasures from past lives, or money just from your real life past of this lifetime coming back to you, money that's for you coming back to you in some way around the 21st, 22nd of March. As we move forward, we get the pile up in your sign. It gets complicated. So as we just talked about Pluto with Venus, Mercury also does the same thing. Let's get him into the story. And so Mercury on the 25th, so, give it from the 22nd to the 28th even, you're going to see Mercury talking to Pluto as well. Mercury, you're going to drive me nuts. Sorry, I'm going to try to get you guys back. Mercury is in the second house of your money, your finances, and he's Mr. Negotiations, marketing and selling, the art of the deal. And Pluto in the 12th house can mean deals you're making with people from foreign shores and foreign lands, digital income and foreign revenue. Mercury and Pluto is good for commercial success. It's also really good for a deep new way of understanding your financial situation in life through a lens that is transpersonal, regenerative, cathartic, and may get you really in touch with things from your childhood that may have been sabotaging your financial success in this life because you took on false beliefs, right? My dad said money doesn't grow on trees. I beg to differ. And now my money is growing on trees. So you can rethink your childhood stories around wealth as well. Now, I don't want to scare you, but Pluto's in the house of hospitals and Jupiter's in the house of legacy wealth. Some of you may receive some kind of chunky money from a legacy wealth of some sort, including father figures and hospitals. And this may also be money from settlements connected to divorce, separation, and assets of separation of monies in a end of a marriage, all right, or the separation of you in a longer term relationship, and some financial gain from the past. It was your money, you put it into effect with your partner, you shared it, and it's coming back to you, a settlement, a deal, lawyers are involved or something like that. And when is all that happening? Again, it's all happening the last, between Venus and then Mercury, the 19th, the 27th of March. Now, as you notice, there's this big pile up, but watch the moon join in, okay? Watch the moon. We get a moon pile up for you as well. Ay, 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 ay. I am so not enjoying this software. It doesn't let me pin the signs. I can only pin Aries. So then I move by days, and of course, ascensional time, I move through time, and I lose the ascendant. So look at the 27th of March. It's thousands of years old. It's the moon, it's Saturn, it's the North Node, it's Venus and Neptune all together. Venus conjunct Neptune a second time. She was conjunct Neptune, by the way, around February the 2nd, and she's back again, conjunct Neptune. So it's a second pass. You might be able to remember things going on around February 2nd in your life, 1st, 2nd. Maybe January 31st as well, because it's back again. It's about you feeling good about you in a dreamy way that is tangible, and worldly success can come from it. And again, it can be something silly like a new wardrobe, new hairstyle, but Venus Neptune can also be about a deep connection to a profound unconditional love for yourself. for who you are, for what you wish to become in this lifetime. And the moon adds weight here. The moon adds things to do with your home, your nest, how you feel about life. This has a huge rainbows and unicorns. You know, the hills are alive with the sound of music. It's got a vibe, guys. And there's nothing about this I don't like for you, except that you're on the spotlight. And this is, I don't even know. Like, I would take this energy March 27th and I'd be doing a collage, a vision board, a manifestation project or something. I really would. But Venus is retrograde. She was here, as I said, end of January, early February, before the 4th. And so you might be remembering that time and going, what were you trying to dream into being? What goals and dreams were you plotting for world domination? And some good things may have happened to your health, good news about your health, good developments about your appearance. Great health news may have occurred then as well. And it could be coming back for a second pass. And as we continue forward, you're going to see that on the 24th of the month of March, all the way to the 31st, Saturn is flowing to Uranus on fixed star Algol. Saturn is stability and endurance and tangible and real. And Uranus is unexpected. And it's the third house. Unexpected surprises regarding viral hits online, chunks of sudden surges of unexpected travel opportunities, some unexpected developments with a sibling, one younger, unexpected developments with aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews. Surprising and unexpected developments regarding travel opportunities, educational opportunities. I can't tell you any more because you have to live through it and let me know what these book publishing and writing opportunities. A surge of success on a podcast or something like that. So this is your vibe with this energy all through the 24th of March through to the end of the month. Now, Mars will trine Saturn at the end of the month as well. And Mars is the go-getter, moving forward in the 5th house, trining Saturn. And you'll see that it's building up to perfection here on March the 27th. And you'll feel it like the 24th of March, really. And it really perfects around the 30th of the month and into the 31st, and it even goes into early April. So the gist of it is, what is it you can do in a can-do way that's going to propel you forward around creativity, art, entrepreneurial endeavors, sex and romance, your own children, and realistic, formidable, wise, and sage-like decisions that you are ready to make. Now let's finish up with the last eclipse in Aries for the next 18 years. It is a North Node eclipse. So these eclipses with Aries, Libra happened in 2004, 5, 6. Now they've been back 2023, 24, and ending on this March the 29th eclipse. And March the 29th, the sun at 9 degrees of Aries joins the moon, helping you to heal that chironic wound, as did the April eclipse, around your face, your earnings, your appearance, facially, your dietary style, all in a healing mode. Your money, the money you share with a spouse, especially. That's because when Venus keeps going back and forth through your second house, she keeps reminding you of the money you share with a spouse if you have a spouse. Now, look, this is a complicated eclipse. And the only reason is that it's not just an Aries eclipse. It's an Aries eclipse bouncing off a node of increase for you in the house of your identity. So there can be some major developments off of this new moon, this eclipse, solar eclipse, new moon, that's happening on the 29th of March up to a month before and up to a year later, where there's major changes in your physical wellness because of a dietary style change, or a major change in your financial wellness because of an expansion of your identity as you've been making and are now making dreams and goals true. Look, Jupiter will move into the house of children. And that means that you may have grandchildren or children or pregnancy fertility stories emerging for you June the 9th through to July of 26. And this eclipse encompasses that window of time because this eclipse lasts a year. So it could also be foreboding, foretelling, and auspiciously suggesting you could have fertility. You may have children or your partner, or you may have grandchildren coming into the storyline off of this eclipse. But it's good for dietary changes and resets. It's good for financial resets. And it's all coming into alignment because you are getting to know you better and reframe who you think you are in this world. I would love to hear back from you guys after these eclipses. That's why if you join my channel, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, I'm going to have some deep dive videos on both of these eclipses with the minor asteroids and much more detail, the fixed stars involved. And that's because I can do that in those videos. This is a half hour at max every month. I give you a month ahead forecast. I also have my weekly forecast. Check everything in my description box below, how to cast your chart in whole sign houses, how to find your rising sign, free giveaways, meanings of the houses PDF, my free asteroid course. There's a lot of free shit under this video. Click the more button, ... and then it opens up. Now, if you're watching on a TV, some people do that. I don't know how to help you. Look through your iPad, your laptop, or your phone to find the more button under my video. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys hopefully on my channel for more stuff. Hope to see some of you in the Venus retrograde class. Check the description box below for details.